Now I'm curious because when the original 13,
Yeah.
right? You and 12 other men essentially saved International Harvester, created SRC. The 13 of you leveraged everything, right? Everything you owned, the
Look,
13 original.
Yeah, we didn't have anything.
Yeah,
Okay.
you basically average homes.
No, we bought our jobs. Okay, I'm going to be totally honest with you. It was one of the worst recessions of the last 4. Okay, we couldn't get jobs anywhere else, or didn't want to leave Missouri, and so what was the alternative? I mean, the alternative was that okay, we'll buy our jobs, and see how we could do, and yes, we took on a lot of debt. All right.
Is it true? I think I've heard you say that it was the most leveraged.
Yeah, so far, most leveraged buyout.
So,
yeah.
37 to
89 to 1.
Oh, so it was even worse than that. 89 to 1.
Yeah.
So that's in the history books as the most leveraged debt in the history.
Well,
of
probably
American
not one of the
money.
greatest, but really far up there. All right. I mean, look, nobody does 4 to 1.
Why did you?
Nobody
take
does
that?
4 to 1 debt to equities today. Okay.
Why did you take that? Would you do that again based on what you're telling
these
me?
These are secrets. Okay, I don't want
Okay.
We didn't have the guts to lay people off. I mean, we didn't want to call 300 families and say, the doors are closing on X day. You no longer have a job. During those days, there were no soft landings. You didn't have parachutes. Unemployment was running 12%. Interest rates were at 20%, so people were losing their mortgages because they were variable mortgages, and they were losing net worth at the same time. Okay,
A lot of balloon payments.
yeah, at a 12% unemployment rate, you're going to lay people off, and we were in our 20s. So what was going to be on our resume? Oh, well, we downsized, we right-sized, and we had really, really guilty consciences of. So this is all self-preservation, kid. Okay, let me just tell you the truth. But we didn't really want to lay them off, okay? We didn't have the guts to lay them off. So we came up with bold, hairy, audacious idea of trying to buy the place. I mean, this wasn't in preparation. This wasn't a business plan. This wasn't a quest that we had, to change our lives and things of this nature. This is self-preservation. And what we wanted to do was we like the people that we work with. We love the people that we work with. And what we wanted to do was save their jobs. That was it. Now, I would be totally honest with you, is that if we did the deal, many of us thought, well, now we're getting out of town. Okay, so, don't look at it as being saviors, and let's not paint a rosy picture on this, okay? It was, in recessions, you don't buy companies, okay? In high interest rate markets, you don't even get access to capital to buy money or to buy a company, right? So at the bottom line, this was strictly divine intervention. I mean, this was a deal that never should have happened, that happened as a result of divine intervention.
How many banks did you talk to?
50. Well, they weren't all banks. I mean, they were insurance companies. They were mobsters. They were people that wouldn't take your kneecaps as deposits in a back alley in Chicago. I mean, nobody really wanted to be part of this deal.
So how did you finally convince? It was a bank, right? That finally said, okay, yeah, we'll back you.
Well, it was a bank that was in trouble, needless to say, because who would book a loan like this unless they were in trouble? It was the end of the asset-based lending period, and they were closing down their offices. They had fired their CEO. They had fired their president. The essence of the article was they were booking bad loans, and we said, this is the bank for us, okay? It was. So we did. We when you write 50 business plans and you get denied that many times, you learn a lot. You can speak their languages now. You can interpret what the meanings are in terms of what they're looking for, in terms of their own growth curves and profit centers. And I think they needed to have a higher net interest margin, which means they had to take on a lot of risk. And so we were really risky.
You were perfect.
Yes,
for them.
we were perfect. They lent us $8.9 million, and we paid 18% interest rate. Okay, if I can pay the interest rate, or we can pay the interest rate, that is a big profit stream for them. So they had to collateralize all the assets, and we were probably one of the last asset-based lending because they were phasing out at that particular point in time.
How long did it take you to talk to those 50 banks?
2 years.
How did you keep the company afloat in those 2 years?
We were still part of International Harvester.
Okay.
We had notified International Harvester with our intent to buy. They went through a diversification process which put us up for sale with a tombstone of the Wall Street Journal. We interviewed people that wanted to buy the facility. They then sold us to another company. That deal fell through. After that deal fell through, they called us up in that 2 year period of time and said, you want to buy it in 2 weeks? After we were waiting, and then we got depressed because they sold us to a Texas outfit. They gave us then 2 weeks to close. We raced and closed maybe 6 weeks after the time that they notified us that they wanted to sell us the business.
So when you say divine intervention,
It
everything really did fall in place.
Yeah.
It sounds like a 2 week period. That everything.
Well, we had some really smart guys. You know, we had local attorneys. One of them is now not only been a lifetime friend, but he's here. Has been here for a long time. Who suggested we tell him that they wanted to close in December. They gave us 2 weeks. We said federal offices aren't open during that particular point in time. Could we have another month? You know, we found the right excuses, and they agreed to close on February 1st. So we were notified around the mid-December. We were actually working for somebody else at the time, okay? And that deal did not go through. And so then we raced during that 6 week period of time to get all the necessary documents, the closings, and we closed the deal on February 1st, 1983.